posts a lot of stuff, but she's not getting a ton of engagement.
The goal for your wife is to help them get the aha moment to say, that's what I was missing. Oh, I didn't see it like that. For coaches, it's the greatest thing ever. And there he is, Michael Jones in the house. How are we doing?
Yay, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm great. Where are you?
I am in Fort Worth, Texas.
I love it. I like the background of
the halo.
Is that your home? Is that an office? Where?
No, that is an office. I am at one of the WeWork offices.
Oh, cool. All right, nice. I like it. So Michael's part of Movement Makers and joined for a year. So as part of that, we're doing this IG Live together. So welcome aboard, man. And what do you got? How can I help?
Well, one of the things I'd like you to do, if we can, is look at my wife's page, because she posts a lot of stuff, but she's not getting a ton of engagement. And there's probably a few things we just need to change and modify to get her a little better connections. Okay.
YouTube page, Instagram page.Here are we going?
Instagram. Yep.
Instagram. Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to my computer. We're gonna pull it up, and we're looking at it together. Where are we going? What's your Instagram?
It's Pack Your Own Bag.
Your own bag.
Pack your own bag.
Is this it?
That's it.
All right. Okay. So it says author, TEDx speaker, how to lose weight and keep it off, emotional eating. I help women overcome emotional eating to shed weight and be free. Pack Your Own Bag Masterclass. Cool. All right. Is she joining us on this live, or are you going to relay the message?
I will relay. I am the official relayer.
You're the official relayer. All right. Okay. Cool. So let's. Do you want to give a summary of the kind of content she's making, or do you want me to just dive in?
Yes. Well, she's essentially, it's just, she's making short little videos of things that, people may be struggling with or may need help on, or things that they would help them move along. And all of this is related to not just, what diet you're on or what exercise you're on, but how you think about things, how you relate to food, what you do under stress, and all those kind of fun things, which add a lot of calories and a lot of things that you're not looking for. It leads you to eat things that you shouldn't be eating. And so she's been doing this for a while. She's been coaching for a while, and she started this a long time ago, 8 years ago, I guess, when she was at that point where she just needed something that would make a difference in her weight that she'd been struggling with for 40 years. So about 8 years ago, she came across this and has kept her weight ever since then, and so she's trying to help people do the same thing.
Cool. I love it. Okay, so a couple of things as we dive in. What does she ultimately want to sell? She wants to sell coaching? She wants to sell...
Yeah, coaching right now. She likes doing one-on-one coaching more than anything else. She'll do a couple of groups, but she really wants that one-on-one interaction, because that's where you make a difference. Again, it's not just, read this diet. It's let's delve into what's causing the issues.
Got it. Then the number one content she should post is coaching.
Okay. It's coaching as in talking about it, or coaching as in...
No, coaching as in coaching.
Okay.
So
this is very get somebody on.
Yeah, what we're doing right now.
You can't say meta. You can't say meta anymore.
Oh, right. I don't know what else we're going to call it. This. Right this, where you showed up. I said, hey, Michael, welcome aboard. How can I help? And then you shared. Same thing. She's going to have, does she, men, women, doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. She deals mostly with women, but everybody's in her groups. So
cool. So, Sally joins and she's going to say, hey, Sally, how can I help? And Sally's going to say all of the typical things that come up that your wife knows how to handle, right? They're not going to ask your wife about, the Texas Rangers or something, right? It's going to be related to what she's great at.
So with 501 followers, if she jumps on a live, is she expecting people to jump in like we're doing now, or does she need to schedule people, or how should that work?
Well, I see her at 503 now, so hey, she's growing.
Got a couple.
We're going. She's going up. I like it.
Yeah,
you have to schedule them.
Yeah, she's got 500,000 views on her YouTube, TEDx YouTube.
So you have to schedule them for sure.
Yes. Yep.
To train people. People have to know that it's going to be an Instagram Live, so it's going to be public, right? When we book this, obviously people will watch and hopefully learn and be inspired by your story as well. So when people are coming on, some people say, well, people won't want to share their stories and won't be comfortable sharing publicly. Some people won't, but some people will.
Yeah.
You know, like the people who go on Jerry Springer and share just the craziest things about themselves. Like you won't get people to come on and talk about emotional eating. They will. And if they get access to her, who's an expert who can help, and they've been struggling with this, and maybe they can't afford her services, or maybe they can, but they want to get some, feedback. And this is an important problem that they want to solve, and your wife has the answers. Some people will be willing to share. So you have to book them, because at the beginning nobody shows up, and that's okay. Like if you couldn't make today, or last minute canceled, or there's a power outage or something in Texas and you couldn't join, other people would raise their hand. There's other people who want to come in right now, right? But I've trained people that, hey, 2:00 Eastern, we're going live on the channel. So if she sets a time during the week, right? Ideally every day during the week, every day at noon or whatever works, I'm going to go live. And you book your first guests, and she just coaches them, and there may not be much of an audience at the beginning anyway. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's okay. You're not even doing it necessarily yet for the audience. You're doing it to help. So she's going to come alive because there's another human on the other end of this, even though she's still just talking to her phone. But it's a lot more comfortable than just talking to the camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And it's especially because that's what she wants to sell. Like whatever you want to sell, show me the process of you doing it. So if she wants to sell coaching, and that's what makes her come alive, show me you coaching. Like that should be the bulk of the content.
So we're giving them a sample at Costco, essentially.
Yeah, and it feels less like work because you're serving, you're helping.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're gonna have she's gonna have two things happen. One is some people who watch that will say, hey, can I pick me? Can I come on next? There's people here who want to join in next. Like, sorry guys, this is Michael's time. But other people will say, can I come on next? And then she can book that person for other time slots in her week. And other people will say, hey, I love the help, but I don't want it to be on Instagram or YouTube or anything. Can I hire you? Do you have a program? Like, I do. Here's the link, right? You pass them the link. So you're showing what you can do without ever having to actually sell it, because the people who are watching have the problem that she can help with. The great hack about Instagram Lives is when you go live, it notifies both of your audiences. So if she goes live, even though she only has 500 followers, if she goes live with somebody who has 10,000 followers,
right,
that person's followers now are tuning into the live, even if your wife started the live, right? Yeah. Which is great, because now anybody who's following that other person is now tuning into the live as well, and learning about your wife for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I would imagine that most of the people she works with are going to be, individuals who don't necessarily have a big following, but anybody connected is always, helpful for exposure.
For sure. And you never know. Some people might have, like, if she's talking about overeating or emotional eating, that's not something that only non-influencers deal with.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a human thing.
Yeah.
For Christmas, for American Thanksgiving, for New Year's, for all of the stuff that's coming up, for all the people who overindulge at holidays, and then for the people who don't have families or have tough families and then just drown themselves with food to kind of wash it away and taking advantage of that. That's not something that, there's an influencer who I just did a challenge with, and she's pretty well known. And she was talking about, she used to have a bottle of alcohol every night to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like, this isn't what your wife helps solve is not just a problem for people who don't have a following.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So she could help. If she wants to do any kind of outreach, or you're going to help her with her outreach, or your kids or your assistant or whatever is going to help with outreach, you can look at people who are posting with the hashtags. So your wife is using some hashtags here, like on her post, she's going with, emotional eating, heal your heart, weight loss journey, diet. She could look at something like just clicking on emotional eating. This is always fun doing live because you never know what you're going to get. But that's the best. And then you see all these people who are posting.
Yeah.
and these could be either coaching or could also be collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so whoever this person is, like the top posts are always at the top, and then it's going to be the most recent ones. These ones have more following and more connections. So if I look at the first one, you know, emotional eating cycle, something that sets you find overwhelming urge. Okay, great. So this is Monica Bannock or Bannock. This could be a collaboration partner for your wife.
Okay.
So you just click on her profile and then see. She's got 10,000 followers, and she's also a weight loss, fasting, mindset coach. But even here, if your wife were to do an interview, I don't know how much your wife loves or likes talking about.
She does.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she does a podcast a week on a guest as a podcast pretty much every week.
Great. So let's do an IG live with Monica.
Okay. She's
got 10,000 followers. Her post is ranking number 1 for emotional eating, which is what your wife was trying to rank for. Yep. She helps busy women lose weight and control their emotional eating. And this is where think collaboration, not competition. Like Monica is not the competition. There's so many, like who deals with emotional eating? Half of America, right? So there's tons of room for Monica and your wife both to win. But if they went live together, your wife's definitely going to pick up some new followers from somebody who is dominating the emotional eating space right now.
Okay.
So one series on coaching people. I was going to say women, but not just women, the coaching people. Mm-hmm. One series doing an interview with people where you're not just trying to hack their audience. That's a very kind of only strategic. It's got to be heart driven. If she knows Monica and hates Monica or hates women who wear red or whatever, like great, forget Monica, go to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
It's got to still be heart first, but then inside of that, how can we be strategic to have her have some great conversation with the people who might generate some business for her? Okay. So then it becomes, okay, well, how do we book the guests? Mm-hmm. You know, so for booking interview guests, you just do what I did. You click on hashtags, whatever she cares about. Specific, like emotional eating is way better than health. Right. Or if there's anybody that she messes with or she really likes, like I don't know who she's following on Instagram, but it's a quick video message on the DMs just to say, hey, I love your stuff. I talk about emotional eating too. I'd love to have you on my show. I run a podcast, but let's do it as an Instagram live. Yeah. Right. So I did this with Gary Vaynerchuk last week. Gary launched his book. His book. We did an IG live together, and then we turned that into a YouTube video. So she has her YouTube video channel. She has her podcast, but the goal is to grow the Instagram. So you do an IG live together, and then you rip the audio for the podcast and the video for the YouTube channel. Okay. Yeah. But even if she doesn't have a following as big yet on Instagram, she has other platforms to distribute it, which can be enough to get a yes from people. And emotional eating is not it's not so big a topic that you're trying to get Oprah on or something, right? Yeah. You know, I'm sure Monica's getting some requests, but it's not like she's bombarded with requests to have somebody come on and interview her. And people always feel flattered to like, oh, you want to talk to me? That's great. So as long as she feels like it can be a great collaboration, it's not only a tactic, but it's like, hey, we're actually going to help people through this as well. So like service first and then strategy and tactics underneath. And then for booking, so that's how you book the interview guests. For booking coaching guests, coaching clients, is she already selling coaching and has a program? So it's like individuals, group coaching.
Yes, she's got both. She's got an individual, which is her main core package, and then she's got a monthly group coaching, weekly, essentially a weekly group coaching.
Okay, and then does she have like a lead magnet or email list?
Yeah, the email list is small. That's one of the big things we got to work on. It's less than 1,000, but more than 500.
Great. No, that's a great starting point. So when you're here, you have the link to masterclass.
Yeah, that just finished. She just wrapped that up this weekend, and she hadn't removed that yet.
That's fine. Awesome. This should be a lead magnet.
Okay.
So the link here, if you're gonna, you can have a link tree where you have multiple links if you want.
Yep.
But if you're only going to have one, turn it into something that you can get an email address for. Or was this free, this masterclass, or was it paid?
It was free.
Oh, it was free. Okay, good. So then that should be more clear that it's free. Because when you think masterclass, you don't instantly go to free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to have some kind of free thing that then leads people to swap their email address to get the bonus.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a class that then takes up, obviously, your wife's time to actually run it. But a free PDF, like the 8 causes of emotional eating and how to overcome them.
Yeah. Yeah. She just sent me one this morning to post, and so that'll be up later today.
Cool. So that becomes the link.
Yeah.
And you're getting email addresses. And so then so now who does she coach? Well, she coaches the people who are in her monthly program or in her email list.
Obviously, the people who are on the weekly coaching call, she's working with directly.
Yeah.
The email.
But now they get one-on-one time with her.
Right. On the Instagram Lives.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So even what are we doing right now? It's very meta, or whatever we're going to call it. You are a customer. I'm thinking more of it like family, but you're a customer in my program, and because of that, we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The people who are in her monthly program, they love her, they love the community, they love the connection, they love being with the other people, so it's not alone. I'm sure your wife does a great job of the community building, and having a buddy, accountability and support system is so important when going on something like this.
It is. Yeah.
So especially the emotional side, right? It's easy to say, okay, eat less of this and work out more. Perfect. That's not enough, right? But they don't get the one-on-one because they didn't pay for the one-on-one.
Right.
So now they get one-on-one time with her, but it's going to be public.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope is that, hey, by having you come on and share your story, we can inspire other people who are like you as well.
Yeah. And I think that would work out pretty well. I mean, she's got a degree in counseling, so it's just not off the cuff stuff. I mean, she really understands, all that, and connects with people pretty well. And she's good at pinpointing the issue, the next issue. So I think that showing that, live would be helpful. But it would also, breed some confidence in other people.
That's what great coaches do. Like she sees the things that they can't see in themselves. And the goal for your wife is to help them get the aha moment to say, that's what I was missing. Oh, I didn't see it like that. I was thinking this, but it's actually way deeper, and it's this thing under here. How did you figure that out? And it feels like magic.
Yeah.
And there is a bit of magic, and there's a bit of intuition, of course, it goes with it, but it's also, decades of experience figuring this stuff out, helping people.
Yeah.
So taking current customers, and they're already in the vibe, they already get the culture, they're already right fits, they're already open to feedback and suggestions, they're already committed to doing this because they bought group coaching. So it's a certain kind of person you're already gonna vibe with already out of the gate. And the promise is extra one-on-one time with her. Like, great. A lot of people will say yes to that. Option 2 is people who are on the email list.
Okay.
So even if you only have 500 people on the email list, if you sent out an email to say, hey, we're starting a new show on Instagram Live where you get to have free one-on-one time for however long, half an hour, to talk about your issues and get help and hopefully inspire other people who are struggling with the same thing. Who wants some of the time slots filling up? Who wants it?
Okay.
People will write back. Not everybody. People are like, oh my God, I'm never. I don't have Instagram. I don't even know how to use Instagram. I don't want to get on Instagram.
I don't want to be on camera. Yeah.
I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to share my story. Great. But then you'll have people in 500. You'll have people who will say, yeah, how do I sign me up?
Okay.
And they're in the ecosystem because they already know who she is because they're on the email list because they did the masterclass or got the bonus or whatever. So but they're not customers yet. And that could be a potential conversion tool. Even without it, it's not meant to be a sales tool where you're coming in to say, okay, the whole point is a pitch to join my group coaching or private coaching. But a lot of it just ends up happening. Like if they have a great experience with your wife and then recognize that a 25-minute session is not enough to help me actually, it just is a starting point, but not enough to help me actually achieve my weight loss goals, then what's the next logical thing? Well, join the group coaching program or hire me as a coach. Like, it'll lead to a lot of business.
Yeah.
Even though the top goal is just service and helping, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you book them. You've got your current clients inside the membership. I don't know if the people who are paying for the one-on-ones would do it because they're already getting the one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And movement makers will also do at 1 year. So you join for a year. So we did this, but then at your 1 year anniversary, you get another one. So if you stick with us for a year, I don't think we actually say that anywhere. It's just like a bonus. Like, hey, you've been with us for a year. Do you want to do an IG Live again with Evan? They're like, yeah, everybody says yes, right?
Yeah.
So that could be another way to reward people. It's like, hey, you've been with me for a year. It's your anniversary. Let's do a live together and let me help you in more depth.
Okay.
It actually becomes easier content for someone who loves the coach.
Yes.
This is like, for some people, it's the worst thing of all time. Like, oh my God, I got a coach. I got to be here and talk to people. I hate people, you know? But if you love coaching, then that's going to be a lot more effective than trying to be strategic and come up with like, it's pre-turkey week, got a plan.
Yeah.
Or these short, it doesn't mean that you stop doing these, but it'll be a lot more effective and it'll probably be a lot more fun. Yeah. Which is important.
Yeah.
You know?
When she does something like, a lot of these videos, she used to, she doesn't do anymore. It was so scripted.
Hold on. She's in the chat right now. I didn't even pay attention. She says, I love it. She says, I love it. Great. Yeah. So for coaches, it's the greatest thing ever. And then as you start bringing in, people will be so engaged because they see themselves in the person being coached.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then they want to follow your wife. Then they want to be more engaged and deeper into her world. But then that becomes content for every platform. Yeah. That becomes YouTube videos. That could become a podcast episode where now it's not a guest, but it's a coaching situation. It gives you one-liner quotes. Like, she's got these quotes here, which I'm sure she just came up with. But I'm sure when she's coaching people, there'll be these one-liners that pop off too. That it's like, oh wow, that was really good. I should write that down. It's like stuff will just flow as she's helping, without even trying to be smart or witty or come up with a one-liner. It just comes out. Great, that's your next one-liner for your Instagram. Yeah,
and I think she'll do well with that. So because it's helping, it's coaching, and that all fits with her natural kind of personality.
Yeah. And she says, okay, and it would let me coach more. So I love the idea. Yes, sometimes about it. I love it. And especially when you feel like it's helping somebody, a lot of great things flow from it. Yeah. So she sees somebody in front of her who's really struggling with whatever. I mean, I'm sure your wife has seen all the issues that come with all the different types of emotional eating, etc. And when she feels like she's actually breaking through to somebody, and she's hit them, she's like touched the key issue, that's the reason why they're doing this. And then she can shift their thinking, even if it's only for a moment, even if they go back to their regular life and they may need more coaching or support and guidance, but like it planted a seed of hope that they don't have to stay stuck. That's a thing that will inspire everybody.
Yeah. It gives them the next step, so.
Yeah. And what I would look at is, so ideally a daily show or 5 days a week, whatever time is convenient. Mm-hmm. If the target is, America, then just be conscious of time zones. And if you do a 9 a.m. East Coast show, then, West Coast is going to be a little early for you.
Lightly attended, yeah.
Or same thing, like 7 p.m. West Coast time is harder on the East Coast to tune in. So something in the middle of the day for people to join in and do. Yeah. And think of it as, it's basically group coaching on a free level. So she's got her monthly, she's got her paid individual, which is the highest, per hour. And then she's got her group coaching. Mm-hmm. This becomes group coaching for America, where people will tune in every day because they struggle with emotional eating. They don't know who to talk to. They don't have a coach or know anybody who else is going through it. They feel like they can't share their story and nobody understands what they're going through. And watching your wife coach people every day, they feel a little less well, they feel like they belong, and they feel like they have community, and they feel like they aren't so different and weird, you know, and
understood.
And understood. And even if they never buy, it's still doing a great service to help people who maybe couldn't afford your wife's program. But then the ones who can and realize, hey, I'm ready to take the next step up, they're the ones who sign up for the monthly, or they jump right to the paid one-on-ones.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. And whether she wants to keep doing the reels and the quotes, you can't take it, leave it. But the coaching, and just above all that, how we got to there, you know, for everybody watching, is whatever you want to make money doing, show me you doing it. So if you're a great coach, don't speak, don't write quotes, coach, if that's your superpower. Yeah. She's saying normalizing the issue. Yeah, for sure. And like, what a gift to come into people's homes and show them that they're not alone when they're ashamed, embarrassed, too afraid to even jump on a scale because they know it's going to be just a crazy number that they don't want to admit to themselves, you know?
Yeah.
So what a gift you can bring people, and also what a great way to grow your business at the same time.
Okay.
Cool.
I think that got us a little further down the road.
We got some work to do. I love it. Come on, Renee, you got this. Yeah. No, honestly, I would start booking people. Start next week. Start this week. You know, when I started doing this, I came up with this idea when I was flying from, I had an event in LA, flying back to my home in Toronto. And I love the interaction at the event. I just stayed in the lobby talking to people instead of going into because serving, like we want to help, you know, I'm sure your wife would do the same. Like it's not about speaking on the stage, it's about helping people. And so I came up with this idea, and on the flight home, it was a Friday night, and I said, I'm going to start Monday morning. I booked all of my guests for the next week, Monday to Friday. It was 2 p.m. Still is 2 p.m. 2 p.m., go live, at least East Coast time. And I just went to my Instagram on the plane, and I saw who was messaging me. I said, hey, let's talk about this. Monday, 2 p.m., are you free? And I did all of them, me personally, the first week. And then my team took over for future weeks and booking people. And then it became I didn't need to book people. They would just show up because we've trained it. Yeah. But yeah, like set a date when we're going to start. Obviously your wife needs to be involved in picking the time, but then just reach out to people and say, like, while you're in the moment, in the zone and feeling bold, okay, we're going to start Friday at noon. Who's going to be the first person? And then message them today. And just start building momentum. Because once you get the first couple under her belt, it's just, I was like, oh my God, it was so much fun. I can't do this again. Let's go. You know, like I see you in my calendar. We haven't met yet. Like, I'm so excited. I want to know what we're going to talk about. This is great. You know, like it becomes the highlight of the day as opposed to feeling like work or content creation. I have to go create content for my Instagram. It becomes a lot more fun to see the impact.
Yeah. So one question that will come up, I'm sure, is, okay, you know, with the number of people we got, say everybody's a little shy and they're not interested in coming on camera and talking about stuff. Should you just like teach something, or what should she do at that time if when we're starting that happens?
Well, you book somebody.
Okay, book them first.
Book them first. If they don't show up, which has happened to me too.
Yeah.
Then you teach.
Okay.
If you didn't show up today, you forgot.
How could I forget you?
You know, whatever. Something happened, emergency, last minute cancellation, you know, life happens. I would have brought somebody else in and talked to them. Yeah. But just teach. You know, all of these things that she's doing, these little snippets of, these reels, whatever this is, you know, this reel is talking about which relationship drives you to food for comfort or stress. This is a 40-second clip. She could talk for 40 hours on it if she needed to or wanted to, right? Yeah. There's a depth of knowledge under these little tiny clips. It's not that that's all she knows and that's it, right? So whatever the theme is that's on her heart today, or whatever she talked about recently in her group coaching or individual coaching, obviously without saying names and like, hey, my client, right? Then you talk for 10 minutes on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Talk for 5 minutes on it. Talk for 20 minutes on it. Just teach. But hopefully most people show up. You should have a pretty, if they're currently in her group coaching practice or they're on her email list, it's not just some random person who's
stumbling
coming.
by. Yeah.
It's somebody who's in her network. But some things will happen, like death in a family, or some things randomly happen, but she should have an 80, 90% hit rate. And 10, 20%, you just go and teach. And just whatever's on your heart, that's what she shares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll take a lot of pressure off of her and get her into doing things she likes anyway. So.
I love it. I think she was happy. I think I saw a few comments from her. So we've got some homework to do. First step is just figure out what time, when's the first date, sometime in the next week, and then go book your first guest. And we're cheering for you.
If you want to see another awesome one-on-one I did with an entrepreneur just like you, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
So the key to speaking is speaking. The more you speak, the more you get asked to speak. You got to go in on a horse. That'd be amazing. You got tons of opportunities.